Welcome back to NewsDay. Let's go live to our Monday panel. The member for Bennelong Labor MP Jerome Laxale and member for Casey Liberal MP Aaron Violi. Gentlemen, great to see you, Jerome. First of all, what's your reaction to the events of the weekend, the massive protest on the Harbour Bridge and the various comments that have been made since, including from the Prime Minister?
Yeah, look, Kieran, I was watching your Sky's coverage over the weekend, watching it with my kids, having a chat to them about it. Not surprised that there was such a huge turnout. Like many MPs, this conflict has been issue number 1, 2 and 3 in our inbox in terms of correspondence. So a lot of Australians care about this. A lot of Australians care about the loss of innocent life, and they came out in droves yesterday on a peaceful protest. That's a good thing, and hopefully we can see an end to this conflict as soon as possible, a ceasefire, humanitarian aid to flow. I think that's what we as a government have been calling for quite some time, and people took time out of their Sunday to go and lend their voice to that cause.
Yes, and Aaron Violi, obviously there are very strong emotions around this story from every side. Obviously, you see the images out of Gaza, they're horrific. You see the image of the hostages still being held, emaciated, starving themselves. Horrific, and still being held by that terrorist group. So you can understand the very high emotion around all of this, and the protests, as Jerome rightly points out, many thousands showing up on a terrible day. It was awful winter day there in Sydney, but they showed up anyway.
Well, you're correct, Kieran. This is it's a tragic situation that we're seeing in the Middle East, and it is heartbreaking, and the images are distressing and concerning. I mean, it's interesting that reports of 90,000 in Sydney. There was about 3,000 in Melbourne, so a lot less. And really disappointingly in Melbourne, we saw those protesters burn the Australian flag and decide to vandalise the streets with Abolish Australia. And clearly those group of protesters were there for another reason, not because of this tragic conflict. And we saw those images, as you said, of the young innocent Gazans, but also of the hostages from Israel. And this could end tomorrow if Hamas return the hostages and lay down their arms. And it's really important that we remember that. Hamas have agency in this conflict. They have not returned those hostages yet. They are still calling for the death and destruction of the state of Israel. And it is a challenging situation, but we need peace. We need a two-state solution that does not involve the terrorist organisation that is Hamas.
Let's get the reaction to that news we heard just a few moments ago. Chrissy Barrett, the first female Federal Police Commissioner. Jerome, that's a first, but a well-respected appointment, that.
Yeah, I was just watching the live cross to the conference there. An important day for Australia. I've just been appointed to the Parliamentary Joint Standing Committee on Intelligence and Security, so I'm sure I'll get to know the new Commissioner very well in our bunker briefings. But it's, an important day and a peaceful change at the top there at the AFP. Look forward to working with her, and she's got a lot to deal with. You know, we live in uncertain times. We've got reports of foreign actors trying to influence public opinion here in Australia. So the AFP have a huge role to play in detecting that and also avoiding it happening in the first place. So a big job for the team up there.
Yes, indeed, Aaron, and obviously this is one without notice. We didn't know Cabinet was going to formalise that today. They'd been meeting from mid-morning, but the one thing I do know from people and sources within the Federal Police is that not only is Chrissy Barrett hard as nails, she's a good people person too, so that never hurts, Aaron.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, being in a leadership role like this does require great people skills, and obviously Chrissy's well regarded by many. And as you said, it's come very quickly with Reece Kershaw's retirement, and then interesting, more structurally that change of it was in Home Affairs. Then this government changed the whole structure of the AFP to put it in with the Attorney General. We're now back to Home Affairs, so at least the government have listened to the coalition. We said at the time of the changes that it wasn't going to work, and they've listened, and we'll give them credit for going back to the model that we had previously with Home Affairs. And I wish her all the best. As Jerome said, there are a lot of challenges we face as a country, and the AFP have a crucial role in keeping Australians safe, and we wish her all the best.
And on the round table we've got in a couple of weeks from now, Jerome, the Prime Minister says he's happy to listen to ideas, that this is going to be a discussion. The Productivity and Economic Reform Roundtable will happen in the Cabinet room. It's not a meeting of Cabinet. And he wants those ideas to be put forward. Is it important the government manages expectations on this issue and on what sort of reform they're going to embrace?
Oh, look, Kieran, I think it's really refreshing that the government's open to ideas. I mean, we have really important voices from industry, the unions, non-government organisations that will write a submission to this roundtable. And if you look at what happened out of the 2022 Jobs and Skills Summit, I mean, we got an extension to paid parental leave as one of the ideas out of that. We've got a simpler and fairer skilled migration system to deal with skill shortages. Yeah. And I'm hopeful for some great ideas out of this one. You know, the talk fest that people called Kevin Rudd's summit way back in 2007-8, we got the NDIS out of that, a great reform. So these types of roundtables, discussions are important. They happen from time to time, and hopefully we can find consensus and move forward. We have a productivity issue that we need to deal with. We have a budget sustainability issue that we need to deal with, and I think it's a really good way to start a new term of government, to have these discussions and to listen to industry, to workers, and to non-government organisations.
And Aaron, one of the big ones from where I'm sitting is obviously it's a massive game changer with AI, but quantum computing as well. And a lot of the things that we're looking at the moment in 2025 are going to change so dramatically by, say, 27, 28. This technology, whether it be in health or even energy supply, if we think about the most controversial political football we've seen over decades, Aaron, we can see game changers with that broader technology of AI and quantum computing that people can't imagine right now.
Yeah, absolutely right, Kieran. AI in particular and quantum, these can change how we operate as a country. It impacts every part of our economy. The productivity gains can be exponential. It can solve many problems in health, and particularly with the budget being in such pressure, there is ways that AI can help deliver the services to Australians, but at a lower cost to the taxpayer. And it's really disappointing. I raised a motion last week in Parliament because the government have vacated the field when it comes to AI. They're not showing the leadership around putting those guardrails in place and giving business certainty to invest. So that's a huge opportunity we can definitely tap into moving forward.
Aaron and Jerome, see you next Monday. Thanks as always, gentlemen.